Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, we're joined by Lynesha Marie, the Fly Coach, a transformation coach and entrepreneur dedicated to helping people embrace change, step into confidence, and design lives aligned with their purpose. Lynesha, thank you for joining me today. Welcome to Founders Future.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited about our conversation.
As am I. So let's dive into it. With all my guests, I do like to start at the beginning of their journey. So can you maybe take me back to what it was that you was doing before you started up the company, and then what motivated you to jump into the coaching world?
Absolutely. So I always start my background off by saying that entrepreneurship was nowhere on my bingo card. It was not what I had envisioned. I did the education thing, got my bachelor's, got my master's, the different certifications. My goal, I thought I was going to grow in my HR career and grow to the C-suite as the chief HR officer. And that was what my plan was. Now, what I did know, because I'm always proactive, I think ahead, is I said, by the time I get ready to retire, I wanted to be able to monetize my knowledge and my expertise, and I was going to start an HR consulting firm. And so I actually started the business back in 2019, and I took on one project, nothing major, but I'm like, this is just something for the future. I'm saving for the future. But as I've gone on my journey, what I've come to understand is that retirement is not about age, it's about income. And so what really made me say, okay, no, let's take this thing seriously is as I was growing in my HR career, I grew to senior management. It's like I'm seeing so many employees unfulfilled in their work, working a job to pay bills, but not really tapping into their skills, doing what it is that lit their fire. It's just more so from a zone of survival, not from a place of thriving. And I'm like, oh, that is no way to live. And a lot of times in HR, the discussion is often around, or at least at that point in time before I made the pivot, was really about why employees are leaving, corporate politics or bad work cultures, bad management. And I'm like, but sometimes it's just the person that's out of position and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. So that's what really pivoted me into coaching is I'm like, I want to help you do what's on your heart to do, but you're not making time to do it because as HR, I'm used to working 50 hours a week.
Yeah.
That was the norm. But if you're not giving yourself permission to do what's on your heart to do, that's where you'll experience that frustration. So that's why I say it's always time to fly. That's fulfilling living year round, not just for PTO, not just in the holidays, but how can you show up authentically you every day?
I love that. And a great story as well, coming from having great corporate aspirations, really wanting to get to the top of the C-suite and then moving into the entrepreneurship as well. How was that trip for you? Like coming into the space you didn't really want to be in either. Pretty cool.
It's been a journey. And I tell people all the time, like even my clients, I'm like, I'm not the person telling you to quit your job because entrepreneurship is hard. But I'm like, I want you to do what you're called to do first. So for me, it was just as I stepped and really took myself along my own coaching journey of what does it look like as I'm diving in and learning more about myself and how do I want to show up and how do I want to serve others? It just was the natural thing. Oh no, I can absolutely operate in this space because this is a part of what I'm supposed to be doing in order to help others.
100%. It's what you need to do and what you should be doing. So the space is there for you to take it. I love that.
Absolutely.
Let's dive into the business a little bit more itself so the listeners can have some more context. Who would you say is your ideal customer? Who do you love to work with? And then off the back of that, how is it you help them? And then what offers do you provide?
Yes, so I love working with corporate women. Okay. I don't niche down all the way to HR, but I love my HR girlies because we just get it. But anyone that just has a traditional 9 to 5, but also has a feeling that this can't be it. So what I really do is I help corporate women monetize their overlooked skills to create purpose-driven income streams so that they can build the life of their dreams and not have to wait on a promotion or a raise in order to do. I left it out in my intro, but what really said I'm going to take this step is I was going through the same process. I had to wait 7 months before my job decided that I was worthy of a promotion. And then I got the promotion. And then 7 months later, I was laid off. And so it's like it's how do you monetize you? Because sometimes individuals are waiting for a promotion or a raise and it may never come. And so that's what I really help them do is really the first step is to really help them discover you. I call it Elevate University. And so it's
Mhm.
the first phase is really discover you. And it's digging down, digging deep into who you are. Because if you can't see it, then the next steps won't even matter. And so it's
Yeah.
really working through that belief. And then the next step is monetize you. So it's finding your gold mine. That's what I call it. And finding the things that you're probably overlooking that can create wealth for you. And then the last step is to see you, because oftentimes visibility is hard. Showing up and showing up consistently can be tough. But I love creating space and platforms for individuals to showcase to the world who they are and what they are sharing. We all have a gift, we have an assignment, and I want to help you share it with the world.
I love that. And I actually really liked what you said as well in your intro when you come in, and it was like retirement is about age, retirement's about wealth or about what you have in and when you can retire. So I love that. I've never heard that said before, the way you said it.
Oh,
Yeah, very cool. So how is it that we help people? Is this more done on a one-to-one level, online, in person, or do you have programs that they can self-study and go through? What exactly do we offer?
so I have a little mix of both. It's mostly group coaching. I do have a mini course that individuals can do, and it walks them through it, because my thing is like, hey, if I can help you and you don't want to take the next step and work with me, go be the best person that you were created to be, right? But for
Yeah.
those that are like, no, Lynesha, I need your help walking through this step by step process, then I do have the group coaching program, like I said, the Elevate University, that really helps take individuals from idea to implementation. And then not only just implementation, but continuation, because you have to show up consistently.
Yeah, amazing. And then from there, do you have any typical things that people come with? Because it's such a hard thing, like looking at yourself and just, as you say, looking inwards and knowing who you want to be, where you need to be is such a hard thing. Is there something that people come with you often that you have to unlock? I'm just curious to find out.
The Oftentimes what I just have to unlock is them realizing the skills that they have. So
Mm,
many times I do mini audits every now and then. I've been thinking about it, just rolling it out as another service, but so many individuals, they when I ask them like, what could you possibly do, the first response is, I don't know. And it's okay. And then my next question is, tell me what you've done and what lights you up. And those two questions, I typically can say, I can really find an intersection. So that's why in my program, my framework is the gold mine method,
yeah.
because it's like really digging, because it's there, but so often, because it may come easy, it comes naturally, it's easy to overlook it. And it's no, that is your grace, and that's what you're brilliant at. And I want individuals to operate in their zone of brilliance, because so
Mm,
often we want to learn all these other things that we're not great at. And John Maxwell always, I read a book, I read a lot of his books, but he said, why would I spend majority of my time learning something that I'm not good at, where I can only get to average, where I can focus on what I'm great at and I can be a master at it. And so that's what I really try to zero in on, is focus
yeah.
on being brilliant and what you're great at.
Yeah, on your brilliant self. I love it. And then how do you typically go about acquiring your customers at the moment? What are you finding that's working well for you in terms of like methods or channels?
Organically right now is just really showing up, because I show up consistently on social media. Threads has been
Oh, okay.
a mini, it's, I feel like it's very overlooked, Threads is. And so I do get it from social media, and then I have my mini course funnel as well that kind of helps me get clients as well.
Nice. So for the funnel, are you running any sort of ads to drive traffic to that?
Not yet. Right now it's just organic, but the goal is, yes, is that I will be adding ads into that, because I
Cool.
understand the value of ads.
Good. And it's good because organic is great. It's just when you get to a certain point, the consistency isn't there enough. So you bring on the ads and you need to scale at the same time to keep that revenue on top.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love
Absolutely.
the plan. And then do you have a team as well that help with you at the moment? Do you have a team that help with the marketing, team that help with sales, solopreneur moving forward?
I don't have a team. I've always wanted to operate as slim as I possibly could.
Okay.
In order to, I just have never, I'm big on alignment and I'm big on intention. And so I'm like, as for me, while other people, I'm saying, hey, invest in it, get your team, get your VA, get all your team in place in order for it to operate. I've always wanted to, because I love to travel so much and be abroad. I'm like, I don't necessarily want to be a people manager. I've done it. I've worked in
Mm.
corporate, I've worked in HR. And so my vision has always been, I want to operate as lean as I possibly could, so that I can live my flat life.
Nice. So yeah, it suits you at the moment. So you're running the sales calls as well as everything on top of that.
I
How is
don't do a lot of sales
okay,
calls,
cool.
though.
Okay, cool.
I
Mostly
do a lot
through
of DM stuff.
Yeah, I was
Mhm.
gonna say mostly through DM talk. So you're using a DM funnel to run it through. Very good.
Mhm.
And then typically, what is the touch point? How long would it take you to bring a customer on board, mainly through DMs?
It can take anywhere from about 2 weeks to a month, depending
Okay,
upon how the conversation kind of
good.
flows. But it's taking longer. It's taking, but on average, about 2 weeks.
Nice, because they're already within the ecosystem, so it's just about just getting that touch point there and ready when they're ready,
Right.
which is also good.
Right.
So what does the future have in store for you? What do the next 12 months look like? Have you got any plans, milestones that you're looking forward to achieving?
Yes, absolutely. So I am working on currently advertising my next Purpose in Paradise retreat is in Jamaica. So I'm looking forward to taking a group of women down there. It's really about uncovering those masks that sometimes we have to show up in the world. And so I'm really excited about that and just the continued growth of my coaching business because this is my baby. Even though I have my travel business and I have the other things that I do, this work is what lights my fire. So
I love it. And how far do you want to take it then? Is there a revenue target you're looking forward to hit? What is that? How far are we going to take the baby? How big's it going to get?
you said in the next 12 months? Because I'm like, I have big money
Yeah,
goals. Like I have
Canada. Yeah.
nine-figure mindset goals.
I love that. Because as you say, you're helping remote people, help as many people as possible, get it as big as possible, live your best life, do that,
Yes,
and transform
yes.
people along the way. What would you say
Mhm.
is the hardest thing at the moment, though, in achieving all that and scaling?
I would say the hardest thing, even though I show up consistently, is still the marketing piece because I know that's not my zone of brilliance,
Mm,
right? And so the marketing piece is definitely the biggest challenge right now, but I'm still committed to it no matter what because I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But marketing is definitely the most challenging piece.
yeah, I can imagine. And have you ever had any help with marketing, or obviously coming from HR, I'm assuming they don't really work very well. But have you ever had any kind of help or done any kind of coaching to help you really knuckle it down and tie it in?
Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
tell people all the time a coach should always have a coach. And so I've definitely gone through many coaches. I have a coach right now to really help because I know that I need to
No.
learn it, but I don't want to master it. So that's not my zone of genius. I would give that to someone else.
Cool.
Big on investing.
Love that. Currently working with a coach to help with everything and then moving on from there. Very good. And so I want to ask you a couple more questions before we log off. If you could go back to a younger self, maybe before we started up the entrepreneurship journey, and you could only leave yourself with one piece of advice moving forward, what would you say to yourself?
I would probably say keep flying because sometimes we can be flying in with broken wings. I've been through so much in my journey and I just have to just keep flying and understanding, give yourself grace to know that the process, the path is going to change and be okay with it. Because I was always a type A personality and I
Mm,
wanted to go just like this and I wanted to be a certain way. But it's understanding that the destination and where you're headed is not going to change, but the way to get there absolutely will. And it's going to look nothing like you imagined.
God, I love that. And then as a final note to our listeners who are maybe almost at the start of their own journey, what would you help or what would you say to them to help keep moving forward?
I would say, first and foremost, hire a coach. Hire a coach or get in a community if you can't
Mm,
hire a coach because a lot of times because I'm in so many different communities and networks and like I said coaching but I understand the value of it. A lot of times we want this so we wear this superhero cape that we can only do things by ourselves and it's like you can go so much further faster if you connect with the right people. And so seek out those environments, those networks, and those communities that can help position you and help you learn and also help collapse your learning time. And so that's what I would say because I started off and I didn't network, but now all I do is network. All I do is collaborate. It's because I
I
understand
love
that I
that.
need that.
Yeah, I love it. And outside perspective is always good. That's the brilliance of a coach is to unlock your mind and help you do things that you can't achieve on your own. So
Absolutely.
I love it. And Lynesha, thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can the listeners reach out to connect with you, work with you, should they like to do?
Yeah, I made it super easy. I am Lynesha Marie on every single platform. You can find me or you can email info@LyneshaMarie.com.
Amazing. So Lynesha Marie across all platforms.
All
Awesome
platforms.
stuff. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode as well, please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future via wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from $0 to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep climbing, and we will see you on the next one.